Bitcoin to hit $40,000 per coin, says Cameron Winklevoss, one of the Winklevoss twins. You have to remember, these twins, they sued Mark Zuckerberg in regards to who created Facebook. They were given a settlement, and then after Harvard, they became entrepreneurs. So the Winklevoss twins, one of their latest innovations is creating a Bitcoin ETF, which is going to come out soon. And now let's take a look at this article. The Winklevoss twins, Cameron and Tyler, are perhaps best known as Olympic rowers for the US and their long and painful lawsuit against Facebook, in which they claim Mark Zuckerberg stole their idea for their site. The brothers are also huge Bitcoin enthusiasts, and now Cameron Winklevoss has taken to Reddit to chat about the cryptocurrency, revealing some of his predictions for its future value and reasons behind his enthusiasm for Bitcoin. Winklevoss, along with his brother, has a very heavy investment in Bitcoins, thinks that the digital currency might easily become 45 times as valuable as it is today, roughly $900 per Bitcoin. Small bull case scenario for Bitcoins is a 400 billion US dollar market cap, so $40,000 a coin, but I believe it could be much higher. When this will happen, if it happens, I don't know, but if it happens, it will probably happen much faster than anyone imagines, wrote Winklevoss. He also wrote that he never sold a single Bitcoin, which he views as commodity money. He also expressed his views on the recent closure of the internet's black market Silk Road, where Bitcoin was used for transactions. The Silk Road closure and the resulting price gains demonstrate how the demand for Bitcoin has little to do with illicit transactions. If anything, Silk Road was holding Bitcoin back by disproportionately dominating its narrative in a negative way. And speaking about the volatility of Bitcoin's price, the price has recently swung from roughly 1,200 to 600 back to 1,000. Winklevoss is not worried. Some days I don't even look at the price. I'm in this for the long haul. Spartans hold, he wrote. Alright, I just want to look at this. He wrote that he views this as commodity money. Okay, now let's look at commodity money and what Ludwig von Mises said in the theory of money and credit. The decisive characteristic of commodity money is the employment for monetary purposes of a commodity in the technological sense. For the present investigation, it is a matter of complete indifference what particular commodity that is, or this is. The important thing is that it is the commodity in question that constitutes the money, and that the money is merely this commodity. And then he goes on about fiat money, and let's read a little bit about what he said. The case of fiat money is quite different. Here the deciding factor is the stamp, and it is not the material bearing the stamp that constitutes the money, but the stamp itself. The nature of the material that bears the stamp is a matter of quite minor importance. Credit money, finally, is a claim falling due in the future that is used as a general medium of exchange. So let's just look at this again when it comes to commodity money. For the present investigation, it is a matter of complete indifference what particular commodity that this is. The important thing is that it is the commodity in question that constitutes the money, and that the money is merely this commodity. Okay, going back to the Winklevoss twins. This is what the Winklevoss twins said, or one of them. He also wrote that he never sold a single Bitcoin, which he views as commodity money. How the hell is Bitcoin commodity money when you could barely go to these stores and trade in your Bitcoins from your wallet to buy these goods and items? That makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, granted, if you could go all over and hey, you could buy whatever item with your Bitcoin, then fine. I mean, is this a store of value, Bitcoin? No. And look at the pricing fluctuation when it comes to the Bitcoins. You have these wild fluctuations. When you have commodity money, it stays constant for the most part. I mean, yeah, you have fluctuations here and there, but for the most part, the prices are stable. you have a currency that is totally out of whack with Bitcoin. Now, let's look at this Bitcoin chart in late November, right? Look at how it pretty much moved in tandem with how the South Sea stocks moved when that bubble crashed. And my point is, markets don't go up in straight lines. And I've learned this over the past few years that after looking at some of these markets in the past, and based on not in my experience, but based on just following markets intensely, you get a better sense of how markets react. Maybe a few years ago, I probably wouldn't have understood this or figured this out, but now I have a better grasp than I did when I first started doing these videos. And the thing is, if it goes up in a straight line, then it's going to eventually come back down, in my opinion. Could I be wrong? Sure. There's always going to be a reversion to the mean. That's how most rational markets work. And if you want to look at another fact, $40,000 per coin. How on earth will Bitcoins get to $40,000 per coin, as the Winklevoss twins are saying? The only way that they could do that is if they decide to print $200 billion per month. Something like that, and people start going into hard assets, pumping up the stock market. Bitcoins probably, maybe Litecoin. I mean, that's how they'll do that. The thing is, with cryptocurrencies, it's in my opinion that you're probably going to see a few cryptocurrencies emerge that people will use in the future. JP Morgan's trying to apply for patents, or they have, and they're going to come up with the coin. I mean, you're going to see more of these coins. And just like the tech bubble burst in 1999-2000, something came out of it that no one heard of. Google, right? Could there be a Google of crypto coins? I don't know. And it's really hard to determine what will come out of these cryptocurrencies. It's probably going to be the survival of the fittest. But my point is that $40,000 per Bitcoin, and you have the Winklevoss twins coming out with an ETF and calling it commodity money, red flag in my eyes. Could I be wrong? Totally. And that's why I suggest, hey, whenever you're doing your own due diligence, or whenever you're making an investment, do your own due diligence, do your homework. I could be wrong. I'm not making any guarantees. This is just my opinion. I'm just some guy on YouTube. And that's always something to note before you make, or before you pull the trigger, whether you want to buy asset A or sell asset A. Do your due diligence, do your due diligence, guys, and I'll talk to you another time.